Breathe, pause. Feel the air enter and leave. Nothing needs to be solved now. Just be here. There is an ancient idea, simple, profound, an idea that crossed centuries, and still echoes today. The Stoics called it Amor Fati, to love fate, not to endure, not to tolerate, to love. But to love even what hurts, even what wounds, yes, especially that. Amor Fati is not giving up. It is not passivity. It is not lowering your head before life. It is raising your gaze and saying with calm and clarity, this is part of my path. But what when the path feels heavy? When loss arrives without warning? When life does not match what was expected? That is exactly where Amor Fati begins. Not when everything flows, but when everything collapses. Life does not ask permission to change. It changes silently or abruptly. So to love fate is to accept anything? No. It is to accept the fact that things happen, without wasting energy fighting what already is. To accept is not to agree. To accept is to stop bleeding twice. Twice, yes, the first time from the event, the second from constant resistance to it. Amor Fati closes the second wound. But does this not cool life? Does it not erase emotion? On the contrary, it makes life more alive, more vivid, more real. When you stop resisting reality, something calms within you, and then you act with clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote that fire transforms everything thrown into it into flame. The Stoic does the same with life. So suffering can also be fuel. It always has been. The only question is what you do with it. Amor Fati is to say, if this happened to me, then it can be used by me. Even mistakes, especially mistakes. The past cannot be redone, but it can be welcomed. It can be understood. It can be reinterpreted. When you hate what you lived, you remain trapped. When you accept and love what you lived, you become free. But how to love what was not chosen? You do not choose the facts, but you choose the posture toward them, Epictetus said. Do not seek for things to happen as you wish. Wish for them to happen as they happen. This is not surrender, it is wisdom, it is strategy. Because fighting the inevitable only creates exhaustion. Using the inevitable creates strength. Amor Fati teaches you to play the game of life with the cards you were dealt, not with the ones you wish you had received. And if the cards are harsh, then the game will be more demanding, but also more formative. Character is not born in comfort. It is born in adversity well understood. So nothing is in vain, nothing, absolutely nothing. Every delay teaches patience. Every loss teaches detachment. Every fall teaches humility. Every pain teaches depth. The problem is not the event. It is the story you tell about it. So is Amor Fati about changing the narrative? It is about aligning the narrative with reality, without romanticizing pain, but without wasting it. Nietzsche said that the greatest test of life is to be able to wish that it repeats itself, exactly as it was. That seems impossible. At first, yes. Over time, it becomes liberating. When you say yes to life as it is, you stop negotiating with the past and the future. The future stops being anxiety and becomes presence, action, conscious choice. Because you understand something essential, control is limited, but the response is always yours. So does Amor Fati bring peace? It brings steadiness. Peace comes later. You no longer wait for everything to fall into place to start living. You live, even in chaos. And if there are failures again, there will be. And you will fail as someone awake, attentive, human. The Stoic does not seek a life without problems. He seeks a prepared mind, prepared to say, this too is part of it. To look destiny in the eyes and not retreat. To love fate is a profound act of courage. Because it is easy to love when everything goes well. Difficult is to love when life tests you. But that is exactly where Amor Fati reveals itself. And how to practice this every day. Start small, accept the delay, accept the criticism, accept the mistake, not with harshness, but with curiosity. Ask silently, What can this teach me? And if it teaches nothing, it teaches presence. It teaches endurance, it teaches limits. Not every lesson is comfortable, but every lesson can be useful. Amor Fati does not change the world, it changes who faces it. The world remains unpredictable, but you become more stable, more whole. To love fate is to stop fighting against your own story. And in the end, what remains? What remains is the dignity of one who did not run away, the serenity of one who understood, and the strength of one who turned everything into a path. Amor Fati, not as a concept, but as a daily practice. Breathe again now. Whatever is happening also belongs and can be loved. Perhaps there is a silent part of Amor Fati that is almost never spoken about. Not the one that talks about great tragedies, but about the everyday, about ordinary days, about what seems too small to deserve attention. Traffic, fatigue, the routine that repeats itself. The plan that did not turn out as expected, the effort that no one saw. To love fate is also to love these moments, not only the great events, but the invisible details that shape who you are becoming. Because fate does not manifest only in great ruptures. It reveals itself in constancy, in habit, in time. Many times what transforms the most is not the shock, it is repetition. Amor Fati teaches you to look at the ordinary day with respect. Not as an obstacle, but as a way to respond better to whatever comes. And this changes everything. When you accept that not all days will be inspiring, you stop demanding from life what it never promised. Life did not promise comfort. It promised movement, it promised change. The Stoic understands that frustration is born from the distance between expectation and reality. Reducing this distance is not giving up on dreams. It is aligning the mind with what is possible, with what is concrete, with what is within reach. Amor Fati does not eliminate desire. It matures it. You keep wanting. But without desperation, without excessive attachment, without losing yourself when something does not happen. Because you understand that the value of life is not only in results, it is in posture, in intention, in the way you move through what does not depend on you. There is a silent serenity in those who accept fate without hardening the heart, without cynicism, without bitterness. To accept does not mean losing sensitivity. It means choosing not to be dominated by it. Amor Fati does not ask you to smile at pain. It only asks that you do not turn it into a permanent enemy. Pain is not punishment. It is a signal, it is a limit, it is a warning, and sometimes it is refinement. What weighs today may support tomorrow. What hurts today may strengthen tomorrow. Not because it was good, but because it was integrated. The Stoic does not ask, why did this happen to me? He asks, how can I respond to this in the best possible way? This question shifts the axis of life. You stop being a hostage to chance and become an agent of response. Even when you did not choose the scenario, even when you do not agree with what happened. Amor Fati does not require enthusiasm. It requires presence. It requires honesty. It requires silent courage, courage to look at the day as it is, without masks, without denial, without escape, and continue, one step at a time without haste. This strength does not shout, it does not show off. It sustains, it remains, it endures. And perhaps that is what Amor Fati teaches most, that living well is not living without difficulties. If you liked it, like and subscribe to the channel for more videos.